Hello, welcome to Simple Wisdom for Everyday Living. The topic I'd like to discuss with you today is how do I calm my mind? Um, there's that monkey mind that kind of goes around and around our brain with that constant talking like a group of chimpanzees in our head. I call it the monkey mind in many faith traditions, that's what they call it. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just part of our intellect. Our mind is supposed to sift and sort and make decisions and discernment and provide us with information. But what happens is in our meditation practice and even throughout the course of the day, it can become a major distraction for us. We essentially feel like we're trapped in our heads, basically. So one of the best ways that I found, particularly when we're meditating, to quiet the mind and get those monkey minds to settle down is through what I kind of call the three stool approach. We are naturally wired as human beings with three ways that we perceive the world, three ways that we connect with our soul, and three ways we connect with God. The first is intellectually. Through our mind, we think and sort through information, and that's a good thing. The problem is that we rely upon the mind for 100% many times of the information and processing. But we forget about the fact that there's two other muscles that we've been given to connect with ourselves, with God, and our soul. And those two other ones are our body and our emotions. And together, the three of those, our intellect, our body, and our emotions, when integrated together and both equally strong working within us, then we become an integrated person with more peace and balance. And that's the way that we can enter into our meditation practice to quiet the mind. For example, when we sit in quiet meditation and that monkey mind starts, one of the things that we can do is focus on our body. Our mind can only focus on one thing at a time. So essentially, what we do is we move our focus to our body, and then that quiets the mind because our focus then is on what's happening inside our body. And a good way to do that, for example, is to focus on your feet. So I invite you for just a moment to just sit in the quiet, maybe put your feet on the ground, flat, take a couple of deep breaths, and close your eyes. And just for a moment, as you're sitting here, feel the energy between your feet and the ground beneath you, the floor beneath you. What does that feel like? What sensations do you feel in your body? Is there a tingling? Is there an energy? Is there a flow? That's your body literally speaking to you and your soul. There's an energy, a groundedness that many times we feel when we find our feet and focus on that. And so many times when we're in that meditation practice, when the monkey mind gets the best of us, we can just gently bring ourselves to our feet or to our breathing and just really focus on the sensations we feel in our body as we focus either on our feet, on our breathing, or just on the overall sensation of warmth sometimes we feel when we connect with God. The other thing we can do is we can connect with our emotions. So when the monkey mind is getting the worst of us, we can focus and identify what emotion am I feeling right now? Is it happiness, love, joy, connection, or is it more a sense of fear? And as we listen to that emotion, then we can simply ask ourselves, what's underneath that emotion? So if I'm feeling fear, I can identify it as fear, and I can ask myself, why am I feeling fearful? And slowly begin to kind of dig out, like we dig out a dandelion root, to dig out what's the source of that fear and why is it not maybe accurate? Why or what is it we're being invited to on the opposite of that? Maybe it's trust. Maybe it's letting go of control. So, what we do with the fear is we name it, the emotion, we name it, and then we sit and sift and sort and say, what's the virtue, the positive aspect it's inviting me to grow on the inside? So, from fear, the invitation might be trust. From fear, the invitation might be letting go of control. From fear, it might be, I need to really sense God's love for me and my goodness as a human being. So that three-legged stool that I think is one of the most important ways that we can quiet the mind is something we can do both in our meditation practice, and it's also something we can take into the day. So as the day begins busy and our mind is scrambling and thinking all kinds of things and driving us crazy with the monkeys up there, we can do a simple exercise of stopping and finding our feet, just feeling that energy, feeling grounded in our feet, and just become aware of that in the sense of how that makes us feel rooted and safe and comfortable. Or we can stop and listen to our breathing. Just take a deep breath and kind of cleanse all that monkey mind that's going on inside of us. And once you begin to work on those three legs of a stool, the stool that we've been given by God, we begin to integrate all three of those. And those three parts of our being, our intellect, our body, and our emotions, then become a way in which we can hear God's voice, hear our soul's voice of wisdom within us. So we'll talk more about that in the next couple of videos. What I'd like to do again is I'd like to invite you to shoot me your email, sign up on the page on the right, and we'll go into more detail with 3 free videos I'd like to send you that will help us look a little bit more deeply about that three-legged stool and how we quiet the mind, and also how we might use different ways of meditating during our meditation practice. And finally, we'll talk about in a third video that I'll send you how we go deeper. What are the different options that I might have, that you might have, to grow your meditation practice and grow deeper spiritually. So thanks for stopping by. I hope this was helpful, and I look forward to connecting with you and sending you those 3 additional videos so that you can continue to grow, evolve, and experience the wisdom that is contained within all of us by connecting with our soul and that wisdom space within us. Thanks for stopping by, and have a great day.